It's always winning season around here, baby. You gotta flow, Joe. You gotta flow, Joe. Them bars, them lyrics, them flows. This is New York City, baby.
You gotta flow, Joe. You gotta flow, Joe. You really gotta let them know, Joe. You gotta flow, Joe. You gotta flow, Joe. You really gotta let them know, Joe. You gotta flow, Joe. I heard they want the lyrics and flows, and can't nobody spit it like Joe. No, you gotta flow, Joe. Bars to make these rap dudes fold. Ice cold, green light, let's go. Hey yo, bust it, check it. Pound for pound, I'm a death wish. This Capitano respected. Parisano, my exit. We found it wild and neglected. Fuck knocking out with a Netflix. I just made a movie. Not one camera round when I did it. I'm different. Best in my district. That's a long, hard fact. You know the vibe. My block on smack. My bars on crack. I came in guns blazing. Uncle Frankie strong arm rap. Forget about it. All you heard was bombs on that. I pushed the fresh mush to my city. The top all back. Legends call me a legend. How could I fall back? Name is buzzing. Haters running like the K was dumping. Pain is suffering. Pelly straight up hungry like I came from nothing. 2 L's cool and the ladies love them. Big chain swing like it's 80 something. Scary but afraid of nothing. It's what it sound like when the grain is gunning.
Bars.
My snitches days is numbered. Is you dumb? Are you stupid? Is you stupid? Are you dumb? Or rat's the worst thing you could be where we from. Rest in peace, Nipsey, Pop Smoke, and Fred the Godson. Shouts to Joey Crack. Wish I could bring back Pun. You gotta flow, Joe.
Yes,
You
sir.
gotta flow, Joe.
We are here today. Welcome to another episode of Check the Rhyme. I'm your host, Magic, and this is my co-host,
Lot.
and my other co-host,
Joe.
and we have a special guest here today, ladies and gentlemen. Before I get into this part, I just want to say, like, this guy's a spitter. Check the Rhyme is dedicated to the spitters, the guys who stuck to the craft of the basic caveman foundation of this hip hop shit. This guy's underrated. Features is insurmountable, if that's even a word. Just a guy that's been around in the whispers of hip hop since the essence of it. We're gonna go into Mob Wives. We're gonna go into everything that's going on now, the new podcast, the new music. If you guys don't know who the Staten Island representative I have in the building today is,
JJP.
ladies and gentlemen,
JJP.
Pelly,
What's up,
Jojo Pellegrino.
What's up,
Pellegrino.
man? It's a pleasure to be here on Check the Rhyme, man. Thanks for having me, fellas.
Oh man,
Pose a toast right now to health,
yes sir.
happiness, and
Let's
hip
do
hop.
it.
You know what I mean?
Jojo
Sure.
Pellegrino. This is the first
Always
toast.
Drinking out the bottle.
Yeah, right.
I
This is
feel
the
you. I
first
see you,
toast.
son.
It's the first. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
We have JoJo in here, man, and thank you for coming in today, Joe.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, man.
You know, we want to get into it, man. This is a beautiful thing. We're celebrating hip hop. We got you in the building.
I hope they were zooming in on our faces when we were listening to that.
Oh
closing.
man,
I hope so. You know what I
That-
mean? Because it's
that
like, yo,
shit had-
you know how we always say that we want the shit that make our face go like this? But hold on a second. But what about this face? In the beginning, we were all like this.
yo,
He was motherfucking smiling like a motherfucker.
that feeling, and this is what we're missing. You know,
Yeah.
in hip hop, this is what we're missing. We're missing that element, that element of you know, you feel the pain behind it. You feel the energy. And I had a question: is that a Fat Joe sample?
Nah, see, what Fat
It
Joe...
sounds like something.
I definitely sampled how he did the hook. I said,
Okay.
you got to flow, Joe. You got to flow, Joe. You know, and the sample was the same sample that oh man, fellas.
Take your time, brother.
Come on, man.
Yeah, check the round.
Come on, the big bro, DITC, man.
Yeah. Big Al?
No, not
Digging in the
Big Al.
crates?
No, come on, man.
McGruff?
I just drew a blank. Nah, the
Okay.
producer. The
Okay.
producer.
Diamond D?
Diamond D. My
Diamond
bad,
D.
Diamond D. That's
Okay.
my bro. I got so much on
Shout
my
out
mind
to
right
Diamond
now.
D.
I just found out I owe Uzi Pass $13,000, so Diamond D. It was hard to think of my
Shout out to
own
Diamond
name.
D.
I almost introduced
Shout out
myself
Diamond
as...
D.
So don't take no offense to that. The same way that the legendary King Diamond D did it, you know, he grabbed that sample, we grabbed it. But me and Jay Glaze flipped it different. You know what I'm saying? Just to bring back that energy, because you know, not for nothing. Everywhere I was going, people were telling me, you got to flow, Joe. yo, where you at, Joe? You got to do this and that. And you know, Fat Joe, you know, Violator family alumni and all that other shit. I followed his career from day one as the big bro. You know what I'm saying? As you guys can see, you know, just even right here, you know, this is me on the stage with him while he doing his.
Oh, that's fine.
You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Joe is just a man, and he's still doing his thing strong. And
Shout
know,
out Fat Joe.
Yeah, I just wanted to. I just felt so right to do. You know what I mean? So
BX,
shout out Diamond D and
Bronx.
Fat Joe for laying that out.
And he gave you his blessing on this. this.
Nah, I didn't. Well, he blessed it afterwards. You know what I mean? By saying, "Yo, I see you, King. I'm watching
And that's
what you're doing,"
hip-hop.
You know what I mean? And
That's
good,
hip-hop.
you know
Yeah,
what I
that's
mean?
definitely hip
Love
hop.
the
Taking it
kids.
and doing what you do with it,
Yeah.
and then make them respect it.
Bro, I just felt
Definitely.
it in my gut. I mean, everywhere I'm going, everyone's telling me you gotta. That's how they start the sentence. They might not say flow, Joe. They'll be like, you gotta come out, yo,
You
Joe,
gotta
you
something.
gotta, yo, you gotta. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. That was a good one. That was fun. Shout out Jay Glaze for that.
And we're gonna go there because this is the interesting thing about Pellegrino, right? It's like and I believe I'm quoting him when I say this. He's been co-signed by the legends, right?
Yeah.
Something along those lines, and I've seen it in research, right? So. But we're gonna go there because this is an interesting story, right?
Okay.
But take us back before we go there, right, Joe? Take us back to early Joe. We want to know Staten Island. What got you into hip hop? What were your influences? Because I hear influences. I hear a Jay-Z
I mean, listen.
in there.
Well, first off, every nice MC that ever did it was an influence. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, you hear JoJo when you hear me. I never, none of that. But the whole inspiration and learning from the greats and studying the greats, that's always been my thing, man. And that's what all the greats do. You know what I mean? Let me give you a quick example. Jay-Z, you know what I'm saying? I'm thinking the Dama, nigga the mama. He went from that to, you know, friend or foe, yo, state your biz. You tend to dough? There it is. But hold on, me, I run the show. Oh, and these kids, after the DMX battle, Jay-Z put this album out. Don't like nobody coming around here fucking with they dough for shit. You went to Brasino, and I like it. But fucking with the big dog, yo, I got to bite you. Who's that sound like, huh? It's not in my hands, and you getting money around here. It's not in the plans. Don't hop your ass out of that van. How about the? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see.
Everybody learn from the greats. We're here to make. We all punching. We all knocking each other, swinging at each other, punching each other in the face. We getting
Definitely.
tougher, and still sharp and steel from day one.
Definitely.
You understand?
Definitely.
Nobody biting off of nobody. Jay-Z never bit off of DMX, but he was inspired by him.
Right.
He felt that wrath in his face, like, damn, that changed. That felt like something. to him.
Hell of an energy.
DMX.
Energy.
DMX. You know, hold on. Give me a DMX rhyme real quick. Anything.
Don't come at me with no bullshit. Use caution.
Don't come at me with no bullshit. Use caution. About
Like
the
a
bullshit.
bullshit.
Sound like Scarface to me.
Yeah,
what
yeah,
the-
definitely.
You know what lonely
Definitely.
man is not the blah. They beat them blah. And the beat them blah.
Yeah,
You understand?
yeah.
And
Definitely.
ask DMX who his favorite rapper is.
For sure.
So at the end of the day, still sharp as steel. We all study each other.
It's real hip hop. Right
Early Joe, Fat Boys fucked me up, man. Slick Rick fucked me up. I was just a kid, bro. I wasn't hanging out in the street. I was a kid with an imagination. I thought I was a ninja. Everything was martial arts. That was my passion. Everything. Martial arts.
80s baby.
Until
Sound
that,
like an 80s baby.
but I went from Bruce Lee to Ice-T like that. You know what I mean? And that's what happened. I mean, literally, that,
Ice-T.
that's what happened. And still on some ninja shit forever. I love martial arts, but just so heavily hit by the culture. You know what I mean? I grew up in a different type of household. My mother, you know, works in Brooklyn, worked in East New York, works here. My father worked on the Staten Island Rapid Transit. You know, my parents are different. They're not closed-minded people. They have all sorts of friends of different walks of life that were always in our house growing up. I listened to, you know, all soulful music coming up as a child. You know, before I was 1 year old, I was gonna say 1 year old, I was already putting records on a little Mickey Mouse turntable they bought me. We were just talking about this last night, listening to records, whether they were 70s records, 80s records. But when hip hop hit me, I don't know what it was. It was
But let
crazy.
me stop you there, right, Joe? So your household, right? Let's stop there. So
Right.
you're Italian?
Yeah, Italian. I have Irish blood. I have Cherokee blood. I have Spaniard blood. But we grew up in an Italian neighborhood. You understand what I mean?
Okay.
So I grew up. I said Irish too, right? So we grow up. I grew up Italian style, Irish style, South Shore stuff. You know what I mean? You know, if I was 100% Italian, definitely wouldn't be able to rhyme like this. You know what I mean? You know, and the or nor would I have the want
It'd be
or
against
be
the
craving
culture?
to do this. You know
It'd
what I
be
mean?
against the culture?
I mean, you know, it don't fit. It don't fit. You know what I mean? It just don't fit.
But I see. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. No.
I will say though, what you brought as far as the Italian slang
Had to
and,
bring
and
it.
shit like that, like
Fire.
I
bring it.
respected that hard body
Because I
about
had
you.
I had to do it, bro. And you know, you talk about early Joe. You know, being around Shaheem the Rugged Child. See, my father worked with Shah's manager at the time. His name was Wiggs, Thomas Wiggs Wilson. Shout him out. You know, he
Seen
shout
it,
out to
check
all-
the rhyme.
all
This
the
is
way to
first.
Violator days. Wiggs was on the team. You know, so we go all the way back to early Shaheem before, you know, when Shaheem was putting his stuff together, which came together before the Wu-Tang stuff came together. And there I am in Stapleton watching this come together. There I am, you know, soaking this up, making music, watching Shaheem, learning not just from a friend that had the luxury of being on and had a record deal, but my man was the man, and he still is the man.
Right.
Shaheem the Rugged Child.
Oh, most
See,
certainly.
name a rapper they were chasing after him.
Oh, most
Tupac,
certainly.
Biggie
Yeah.
Smalls.
Yeah.
I've seen things with all 3 members of TLC. I see, you know, Brandy, this and that. You know, Foxy Brown. Everyone. I mean, these are just the female, but all the females loved him. First off.
Shaheem had a movie called The Original Gangster.
Of course
right?
he did. Yeah, we went to
And
see that in the movie theater
my
when it
whole
dropped.
life, I wanted to be the kid in the scooter the rest of my life.
Shaheem's the man. You understand? He's a one of a kind.
The
He's
rest of my life.
very, very special. So not only was I around somebody that was, you know, just on, I was around somebody that was the man.
That's right.
And we were babies.
Yeah, he definitely was a man.
I was gonna say that
We
because
were ditching
he
cabs
was
and
the
running
man.
around, and this kid was you know, I mean, shit.
I
man.
was gonna say that because back if you were around Shaheem then, Shaheem was fairly young. So how
Very
old were
young.
you? You were.
Same age as Shaheem.
Oh wow.
Same exact
so
age
You've
as
been
Shaheem.
around, and this is the
Yeah.
thing. I don't want to skip too far. So give me so South Shore, Great Kills.
Right.
Explain the environment there in the 90s.
In the 90s, freestyle music. You guys know what that is?
House
Yeah,
music, shit like
Nah,
that.
freestyle music is,
that's
you
what
know,
I like.
tears may fall from your eyes. You know, all that shit, you know what I mean?
Really?
Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Freestyle music, Puerto Rican shit, you know what I mean?
That's new, that's new.
You know, all that.
Yeah.
That was rocking. Only certain few, that's what they were going with. Frank Sinatra, of course. Very, very, you know, Staten Island's still to this day, it's a different vibration, but still to this day, back then, it was very segregated.
Okay.
You understand? Italian people, Irish people, and all them motherfuckers over there.
Right,
Black people,
right.
Puerto Rican people over there. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? And
yes.
there was racial wars in the school, all that other stuff, all the time. You know, it wasn't safe to be black at the time or coming to the neighborhood. Something would go down. You know, this is at the time when white boys were still very. They are always will forever be brazen, but in the street they're not as brazen as they used to be. They were brazen. All the white neighborhoods had beef with all the other white neighborhoods. Port Richmond against Springville, Great Kills against New Dorp against Springville, this and that. You know, and it was like that at the time. So for me to be rapping, I got support from the people in my neighborhood, but you know, there was a lot of doubt in the beginning.
Yeah, a lot of doubt.
But I
It's always like
quickly, this is like I don't want to sound, I'm not conceited or nothing, man. But this quickly fell into play. I went from sitting
Yeah,
Indian style writing rhymes
confidence.
in my bedroom to being in Stapleton Projects watching Ghostface join the Wu-Tang Clan and be the man and Shaheem pop off. I wasn't playing immediately. I mean, I was the first kid walking around school Wu-Tang shirts on, dudes calling the phone and all that. You know, at the house. You know, it was different. You know what I mean? But you know, that's what it was like in that day and age, you know. Still a lot of mob shit, still a lot of dudes, you know, affiliated, really doing their thing. Still a lot of violence, a lot of brazen white boys in the neighborhood, you know, doing their thing.
And how far were you from where you live? How far was Stapleton Projects? From
Stapleton, I mean, well, I used to take the bus, you know, and that would take like a half hour. You know, now when I jump on the whip, it takes me, you know, 15 minutes or whatever, 20 minutes. I drive kind of fast, you know what I mean? But yeah, man, I would go on the bus. You know, and I couldn't just, you know, Stapleton wasn't the first stop. The first stop was a place called West Brighton, you know what I mean? Well, that's where my grandmother lived, you know, Rose Pellegrino, may she rest in peace. And I used to go over there all the time. She'd be down the block from the West Brighton Projects.
Okay.
So, but I let everybody understand, there was no just me showing up and just hanging out. As soon as I showed up, there was a lot of irritation. See, but in the hood, they wouldn't be so quickly they'll stomp the shit out of white boy and do something to him. They wasn't looking to kill no white boy, do nothing like that, because then, you know, it would be hell to pay. Police coming through, like, you know, shut down the money, stop everything. So they would strip white boys down, and, you know, when they go by their dust or their crack or whatever. But I came out there on some rap shit. And immediately I rubbed a lot of people the wrong way just because I had the heart to jump in a cypher with dudes that are, you know, from there, man. You know what I mean? And I respect these dudes. They were incredible, but so was I. You know, but this was their thing. And this is me just first jumping around, getting in it.
Do you remember your first rhyme?
My
Or
first
close
rhyme-
to it. I think everybody remember their first rhyme. I asked Nature this, and peace to Nature too, because
Shout out to Nature.
our
man.
interview we had, I owe him an interview. You know, I owe him because the first 7 minutes of our interview, the footage had got, you know, messed up. It was just technical difficulties, and we apologize. And check the rhyme. We don't play that, so we're going to get Nature back up here, get a whole nother interview as we move along. So I just want to shout him out. Peace to Nature. You know, we're going to make that right.
Yeah, definitely. Shout out Nature.
So your
Just
first
for
rhyme.
it was just something like on some like "Don't Hold Me Back." You know what I mean? Don't hold me back. The smooth operators on the track, and it's a fact when I rap, my mouth lit off like a gun clap. You know, shit like that. You know, shit like that. You know what I mean?
Bars.
Battling my style is similar to getting thrown down the fucking stairs. Yeah, I rock knots and blow spots. My flow's hot. Got that ill shit that don't stop. Cock me back. I'm swift. A sick lunatic, and chicks is all on my dick because my style's just mad sick. You know what I mean? Shit like that. You know, but this is back in the days, guys. You know what I mean?
Shit's
You know,
fire.
everybody else was on some, oh my God, I'm coming through. I'm gonna get the drama like a woo. You know what I mean? So like, you know, we would, and you know, we used to go battle. They would take me to don't make you guys are getting me into it. You know, in the West, they would take me. We would go to Battery Park and battle and all that, and they would tell me, yo, Joe, you know, put your hair out, take your hat off, so you look like a white boy, or whatever the case. Wear this and that, and then in the last minute when we tell you come in, boom, they come in, because we'd be out there battling for money. A lot of fist fights. I mean, that's when battling definitely came to blows as soon as you said the wrong thing. As soon as you said the wrong thing, and a lot of football athletic motherfuckers were rapping at the time. It wasn't easy fighting half of these kids. I'm telling you, bro, people getting beamed off the head with bottles in the middle of verses and all that. Wasn't nobody there. It's just that. Now look, if you were talking wild shit though, and that suited you. Like a lot of dudes who really moving around like tanks out there, you know what I mean?
Right.
Nobody said nothing. Because, you know, the other guy you battling might be a bird, you know what I mean? With five birds standing behind him. You don't want to get fucking cut, you know, punched in his face or anything, God forbid, worse than that, robbed and shit like that. That's the shit that was going on. It was just a cool energy, man. And, you know, there was no just me coming out and just showing up, you know? I mean, as soon as I rubbed dudes the wrong way, I kept coming back, you know what I mean? And, you know, there was a dude out there in the West. I don't know if I should say his name or not. I don't know what he's into or not, but he, you know, he was known for running the hood at the time. He witnessed it. Okay. And, you know, when dudes was about to move on me, about to, you know, probably jump me, give me a beating or whatever the case is, you know what I mean? There's a lot of them, too, and they were athletic and all that shit. He got in the middle. Nah. Yo, you crazy coming out here, man. But I kept coming. Yeah. So dudes was like, yo, check this out, man. If you want to come, meet us at Silver Lake Park. We doing, you know, a minute straight body shots. You know what I mean? No punches to the face. We all got to jump you. After that, boom, that's it.
Wow. This was that era right
This was that era right there. I go there, I walk out there, okay. You know, shit hurt a little bit, but I did my thing. You know what I mean?
Now you got your respect.
Right after that, you know, motherfuckers used to take the top off the 40, put the Hawaiian punch in it all. Right after that was like family, bro.
Right.
Right after it was like family. You know what I mean? And that's how it was. You know what I mean? It wasn't just coming down the block and hanging out.
Earned your respect.
Yeah, I had to earn your respect, you know what I mean? And that was everywhere I went, you know what I mean? Stapleton's a whole different story. But Stapleton had it rocking with the music, you know? A lot of dudes were, you know, there's this producer out there named R&S. R&S did the Gravedigger shit, did on Shaheem shit, all that other stuff. Hey, Al Hova, King Just. R&S was just incredible. Still to this day, I haven't really heard anybody do what he was doing, how he was doing it.
He's a producer.
He's a producer, yeah. And he would make albums for everybody in the hood, like, you know, even Tez, you know, that's my cue, what? It's my turn to burn. Remember him? He had a whole album that was incredible. Because R was a producer's producer. He like the Dr. Dre of Stapleton, you know what I mean?
Shout out to R&S.
Yeah, shout out R&S, shout out R. And so I just wanted to be around that, man. And so I did whatever I could, man. And just being around Shy and all that other stuff and was enough. But when it came time to be on these albums, I mean, I'm sitting around and watching albums get recorded. Everybody knows I'm nice. You know what I mean? I'm jumping in every cypher. I'm doing what I got to do to hold down the fort and save the day most of the time in some sort of lyrical bout. You know what I mean? Even all the way up until Ghostface's video shoot with Charlie Baltimore. I was in there going blow for blow with motherfuckers in front of the whole hood. You know what I mean? That's the way it's supposed to be. But you know, it's just
they did that right in the middle of the hood?
Right in the middle of the projects, and things happen too. You know,
really?
things happen.
Tell us some things that happened, Jojo. I mean, tell us some things that happened. Let these new guys know what went on in real hood video
you know,
shoots.
Some of your favorite hood rappers, you know what I mean? I can't, because I respect dudes anyway.
Right,
you know,
of course, Joe.
Some of your favorite hood rappers really came through heavy, like you know, really beautiful. You know what I mean? And they didn't leave so pretty. You know what I'm saying?
Man.
And that's okay. That wasn't on my call, and that's just the way Stapleton be. You know what I mean?
Where it was.
Especially, you know what I mean? Especially when all the Kings was outside, and you got Park Hill Kings coming down the block. It's such a beautiful thing that Park Hill and Stapleton are doing so much together. And you know, I was out there when these dudes were beefing. Me and Shaw would be going up the block on bicycles and all that. We hit gunshots everywhere.
Yeah, it was at war.
Just different.
Because I seen the Wu-Tang movie, and it seemed like, and you wouldn't know that, you know, Raekwon and Ghost, because of their relationship, they were so close in rap. They were a duo, like a two-man duo out the group. But before that, you wouldn't think that they were like at odds, and that was so interesting because they were from separate.
Ghost is a popular dude from Park Hill who pops off, and Raekwon's a popular dude from Ghost, a popular dude from Stapleton that gets it popping. That, you know, and Ray's a popular dude from Park Hill that gets it popping. You know, so they're not at the time. They're not supposed to be looking at each other like, yo,
It's my best friend.
They came through together like G's because they had knowledge, wisdom, understanding. They wasn't just a bunch of maniacs.
Knuckleheads,
Yeah,
right?
these dudes had what's the word? Discipline. These dudes had a vision.
Vision.
And have respect for each other as black men.
Right.
You know what I mean? Maybe Park Hill and Stapleton was had beef, but the whole time they were on that guard body shit hard in both hoods.
Most certainly.
So at the end of the day, when it came time for them to get together like that and do what they did it.
Yep.
But yeah, those were those days, man, and best days of my life, man. Best days.
I'm gonna tell you, we're gonna speed it up a little bit, right?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm gonna let you know when I found out about Jojo Pellegrino.
Okay.
Right, Joe?
Yeah.
Interesting moment. I forget what year it is, right? Should have had this clip ready, right? But I forget I'm a hip hop connoisseur. I rap too, Joe.
Okay, I figured that.
Only people who know I rap is me and the guys around me, right?
You look like you about to spit something right now.
Check it out, Joe, right?
He's always ready. He's always ready.
Oh yeah, we can get it
Oh,
later.
you said check
later.
it out.
Maybe we can get
I
something
thought you was
later.
gonna speak. You said check
nah,
it out.
not yet, Joe.
Oh,
Right?
I got you.
So check it out, right? So I'm in the crib. I think it's like I want to say 99, maybe 2000. I might be fucking the years up. Excuse my language.
It was
right?
2000.
It was 2000.
Yeah.
Rap City in the basement
Yeah, I remember
Tigger,
that.
shout out Tigger.
comes on, right? My two guys that I walked to school, Capone Noriega, headphones.
Shout out Pornoy, my
Right,
brothers,
for
yeah.
sure, right? And I'm like, all right, these guys are about to kill it, which they did.
Oh yeah.
Which they did. But then this psychopath out of nowhere comes out the back.
I was in a mode, man.
It was him.
And I'm
Jojo.
talking about goes bananas. And when you watch Rap City, there's like, I think people say like 8 bars, maybe 10. Next guy. They knew he had the
I couldn't.
he had the
stop.
fever.
I did it for us.
Oh man.
I did it for
I
us.
don't think JoJo ever had an opportunity to spit and didn't go in.
But
I don't think so.
Since that moment, right. But since
He's
that
supposed to.
moment, right, my antennas was up. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, I need to hear more of this
Gave
guy.
myself a haircut. Nobody clipping the balls. Yeah. That was,
Went crazy, and I'm like, yo,
that was a great day, man.
was that off the head or it was?
Nah, there was some of it
like
was
a
off
mixture,
the hood.
like
and some of it was off the hood. Some of it was off the head, and a lot of it, most of it was written.
Yeah.
Because that's not the type of beat I would have flipped it to. And I came in the middle of the sequence instead of like it was, awkward. But I had no time to waste.
Yeah, right. And
No time to waste. Just start busting guns. We busting guns in there. Prodigy was in the background. Rest in peace to
rest
my
in
brother
peace,
Prodigy. He was
man.
in the holding the Queensbridge thing over my head and all that.
Yeah.
All them Queens dudes are family still to this day.
Right, because Prodigy came after. He came after,
Prodigy
right?
went
he
after,
rapped,
right,
he rapped
right,
after, right?
right.
And I didn't know if, and, at the moment, I'm like, is this Spanish guy? I didn't know who he was. Did people get that confused with you when they first hear you or meet you?
Oh, they thought I was a Spanish guy.
Yeah.
Nah, not really. A lot of people, knew what it was because the first record was Forget About It. You know what I mean? So they knew what it was, and I kept this big 7-foot tall wise guy dude with me. You know what I mean? Shout out Uncle Frankie. He was like 20 something at the time, man. And he like 6'5", and so they knew what it was. He just reeks of it. He looks like it. He is it. You know what I mean? So all these Violator dudes, all dudes from the hood selling records, they seen this shit before. So it wasn't just me. It was also Uncle Frankie they loved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was just we became real tight, all of us. There was nothing like being signed to Chris Lighty because when you go up there in that
Chris
office,
Lighty, rest in peace.
Rest in peace,
God
Chris
bless Chris
Lighty,
Lighty,
man.
rest in peace.
Word.
What I'm doing right now is still off of the opportunity that he gave me. I wouldn't be able to do this if you guys didn't know who I was right now. I mean, I would try, but I wouldn't feel like the greatest man or the greatest father while I do
Well,
it.
I can honestly say I think Stretch Armstrong introduced me to you.
Stretch Armstrong.
Shout out Stretch Armstrong.
Stretch Armstrong is, if you go all the way back to me in the beginning of wanting to be a rapper, I would call, before I even landed in any hoods, I would call, and while I was in these hoods, I would call the Stretch Armstrong show every Thursday, and I would get through every Thursday. And I would rhyme every Thursday, and the more and more they would get very personal with me. Yo, Swift, leave your number, man. We want you to come up here. Go up there and start hanging out. Immediately I started I'm in Fat Beats. Immediately before I was even Jojo Pellegrino, I was already standing around Big L and Fat Joe and Lord Finesse. And all these dudes watching them. My man Nick Search was my DJ. There was a couple kids from my neighborhood. We love hip hop more than life.
Nah.
and we went with it. Everybody else wanted to do dance music, put on slacks, and be in a mob and all that.
disco.
We wanted to do music, you know, and fuck all different types of girls instead of just white girls or Italian girls. You know what I mean? We wanted to move and do what we do. We love this. You know what I mean? And we put all into it, man. We grew up hip hop. You know, I call Stretch every single week. And it's just a great thing. In fact, I kind of knew hip hop was gonna change, and I was thinking of this on the way here. It's the strangest thing. Shout out Stretch Armstrong. That's my
Armstrong.
The things that I have been exposed to around him, some early day 50, being around him, being around tracks. I rhymed on the LAPD and PD on the song. That's who you get, huh?
Yeah.
I rhymed on
Not
that.
JJP.
I rhymed on that before he did. I didn't write that to it. He bodied it, but in return of me, taking vocals off of that, I got this other joint that they gave me from Red Spider. Shout out Red Spider.
Red
Being around all these legendary producers, this guy is a monster. Just being around all these legendary people through Stretch, it's amazing because when you're a nice lyricist, and as soon as you contribute something to the game, all of a sudden you bump into your favorite rappers and dudes that sold millions of records or hundreds of thousands of records, and these guys are like, demigods. And when they see you, all of a sudden you don't even realize you like their little cousin. What up, man? Yo, I see you, man. I see you. They start treating you like fam.
Yeah.
From the first time you jump in a cipher. So the next time I see Lord Finesse, and when I became Jojo Pellegrino and put the work in like that, and then and then these dudes realized the same dude was Jojo, but they were like, especially Stretch. Oh shit, you know what I mean? Like, yo, you still here now? This is you. That was you.
Yeah.
I kind of knew shit was gonna change when Stretch told me that he was fired from Hot 97, and I love Hot 97. Wow. You know what I mean?
Stretch had the illest slot on Sunday nights on Hot 97. I think that's where I received all my organic hip hop. You remember when I used to come to school?
Definitely.
Tape player? That was all Stretch.
Yeah, Stretch was
He had all the hottest shit for the streets.
Shout out to
He
Stretch
did
Armstrong.
from the streets.
Straight,
A lot of people when you talk about underground hip hop, they think it's real deep, boring. Some guy who could never be a star, so he's doing underground rap. That wasn't the case. He was playing street stars.
For
You know what I
sure.
mean? That mastered their craft. Some of them were real gangsters that were doing their thing. Stretch just really did it for the streets, And I was around him, very frequently when he left '97 or when he had to leave '97. And he explained to me, yo, something don't feel right, and it didn't feel right either. Shout out Stretch. Even when Hurricane Sandy came, Hurricane Sandy hit Staten Island, pardon me, hard. He came out to Staten Island. He was handing things out. Me and him, he brought all sorts of supplies. Him and his girl. And Stretch is a beautiful soul, man. He's just incredible. I see them; they're still royalty doing what they do. But the biggest mistake you could ever make is not have Stretch, a part of your radio station. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Right.
I know times have changed and all that. And Stretch, if he was here right now, would say the same thing. He's in a good slot.
Yeah.
But it just don't feel right. Flex is still here. Shout out, Flex, and shout out these other guys. Why can't Stretch still be here?
Exactly.
Because those guys choose to not see. They don't follow the agenda. To me, like those guys will play the records that they know the people want to hear.
Which is a good thing.
Which is a great thing.
Yes.
Very good thing.
But unfortunately, those guys don't get the slots that they need because
They're not puppets.
the overseers of everything. That it's a program. They want you programmed to this new sound, and that's another thing too. Like, you're from the caveman era of, being lyrical and
He calls it the caveman.
But
era.
I was just about
now
to.
you got to be a caveman to be
No,
lyrical.
no, but
I'm
that's
feeling like the dude in the commercial right now, the
but-
Geico commercial.
But that's the thing, Joe, right? And I was gonna
said
correct
you
that
gonna
too. But that's what they make it feel like. Like that's a disrespect to me, right?
Not really, bro. Because if you listen to some of these new artists, they are lyricists, man.
Do you think so?
I know so,
between
bro.
the bullshit,
I can't
there's something
stand.
there.
I can't stand a motherfucking rapper that hates on these new kids.
Give me one, Joe. Go,
See,
Joe.
see,
Give me,
look.
Joe. Give me one.
Look,
Joe,
look,
give.
look.
Hold
give-
on. Listen. Not for nothing.
Yeah.
The baby is dead nice.
I was just
Hold on,
thinking.
hold on.
Okay.
Okay.
Nah, you just-
Okay.
all right, nah,
Hold
you-
on.
Nah,
Little baby.
Little baby, yeah.
Dead nice.
Lil
Yeah,
Baby
that's-
definitely got
Kendrick
some shit.
Lamar's dead nice.
Of course, but
He was
we
here
can't-
right now.
Brody
Put
Rich
something
is
better.
dead nice.
Come on.
Right.
A lot of we can do this.
Brody
Right?
Well, we
Rich.
can't
Come
put
on.
Kendrick.
I be telling these
Pulling out
guys.
the coop and
look,
lot. That shit is hard.
That is
telling you.
Listen, my 2-year-old, if he hears that song, he goes ape shit.
Check it out,
I
check it out.
kid you not.
We all around the same age in the 30s, and I be telling them guys about the young guys, and they be like,
You
"They
got to
don't
give him a
see my
chance.
guys."
You got to.
I think that's what it is.
You
You got to
to.
give him a chance.
You cannot be like I don't want to say his name.
And now with everybody,
Joe Buttons.
I love Kendrick, right?
I love Joe Buttons. He's dead nice.
Yeah, but
Joe definitely has some
at one
shit.
point he was saying that the young guys, the mumble rappers and all that.
He was, and it's okay because someone has to take the stand and come out there and kick up dust, and Joey's known for that. So shout out Joe Buttons for doing
shout
that.
out
That's a
Joe
good
Buttons.
thing.
It's a fact.
When you listen to the Migos, these guys' voices first off are incredible. These guys literally could say tater tot. And they killing it. And the music is hard and the hood loves them. That's important. You can't shit on hood music. Whatever the hood is putting out is what the hood is putting out.
Right.
I think the Migos changed the game.
Of course they changed the
They
game.
changed the whole game.
Of course they did. And I could see how lyricists and the Joe Buttons would say something and be brave enough to, do that. And that's okay. But at the end of the day, he didn't hurt what they was doing. You know what I mean? And they didn't hurt what he was doing.
Misunderstanding.
You know what I mean? Because there's two ways of doing it. There's being the nicest rapper, the nicest lyricist like Cannabis, and then there's making the best records. You know what I mean? Then there's making the best records. And a lot of our favorite lyricists never made the best records, ever. So it's okay, though, because we have some of our favorite lyricists that did. Like Jay-Z, like Nas, like DMX, is a dope lyricist. So many more, shit, I mean, even Fat Joe, all these dudes, they got joints. Y'all wanna live my life. That shit is hard as fuck.
Never seen the
You know
brick,
what I'm
never seen
saying?
the
You
crack
can't
house.
put an age on hip hop. This is not boxing,
There's
bro.
no age to it. Word, it's a fact.
Jay-Z could
like
drop
a
another
cycle.
album tomorrow. It'll
Rotate.
be beautiful. We can't wait to hear what he says, and it's incredible. And I don't mind listening to Kendrick Lamar's album when he's 15 either.
But do they tend to do that? Like with hip hop, like once you get a certain age, don't they call you like, oh, this guy's
Well,
washed
bro,
up, or
because in
he's
the
old
neighborhood,
school,
because
or-
in the neighborhoods they come from, they start calling you OG when you're 24 years old.
I
Yeah.
was just telling somebody.
Now listen. Now what are they going off of? The hood is operating off of strict basics, testosterone levels, and courageousness, and physical ability. They push that shit to the limit every day, whether they're doing crime or whether they're doing sports or applying
No matter
themselves in
what it
school,
is.
whatever it is that these people from this neighborhood do, no matter what it is, the most honest thing or the most they put their all into it and push it to the limit. So you know what I mean? So a dude in jail who's at a certain age knows that when he was a tank and he was 21, he'll fight 6, 7 dudes and beat the fuck out of them all. He even knows, I probably can't do that right now because it's just the way it's the way it is, bro. Yeah. But we over here rapping. We over here changing the world with a message, putting out music.
message.
People marketing, putting this shit in the headlock, marketing it from angles that they want to do, and when the music don't even belong to them. You understand what I mean? So that's why everything's going so independent. This shit can't be stopped, bro. This shit is more powerful. As long as we know, listen, and I don't call him part of the hip hop community, but he's in the hip hop community. Even our snitch, Tekashi 6ix9ine, gets more people watching his live than our president.
Why is that, Joe? Can you give me the answer to that?
But hold
Joe?
on, but our
Because it's
best,
going-
Do we
but
know that?
our best, Drake, you know what I mean? So does he.
Yeah.
So it's a balance.
Yeah.
Of course.
Basically.
You need
Nah,
balance.
it's not. I'm not saying it's a balance. I wasn't trying to compare Drake to Tekashi because Drake is a legendary, incredible fire lyricist with the most ridiculous catalog in the world. I love Drake.
And
A lot of people be like, "Yo, when you say your favorite white rapper was Drake on that other song you did."
Drake nice.
But I love Drake. I wasn't trying to clown him or nothing like that. I was just pointing out, that his mom actually looks like mine.
He nice.
You know what I mean? So
She's
yeah,
white.
dead nice. You know what I mean? Dead nice. So, but what I was pointing out is that our best and our worst still get more attention than the president.
You know what I like about Drake?
Not talking about Donald Trump, whoever the president is at the time.
Whoever it may be.
You know what I like about Drake? He got good stage performance.
Of course he does, bro.
The best.
Of course, that's why he gets paid all
He
that
don't
money.
get tired of nothing.
Shout Drake out, man. That's a dream career to start and just keep propelling with never a dull moment.
Never.
No matter how hard of the street, somebody comes out of that got something bad to say about him, he fucking runs through whoever.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because he got that elite class to him. He got that Jay-Z thing. You know what I'm saying? Even Jay-Z knows it. Jay-Z never had to bounce around and scream and work out and all that other shit.
Nope.
He just think and boom. You know what I mean?
Think and execute.
Think and execute.
So I'm guessing, correct me if I'm wrong, right? So the relationship with Chris Lighty, I'm starting to see how, because my question was like, the legends co-signing JoJo and you being so relevant in the hip hop scene and, people knowing your name, I was just trying to connect how that, as you told us about Shaheem and this and
It
that.
happened through Shaheem, getting
Okay.
around a lot of the Wu-Tang dudes, getting around certain artists and certain DJs. And that was just the beginning. That wasn't even Jojo Pellegrino. After that, it happened through myself running around putting work in. making my own music. You know what I mean? Being around Colodro, my producer at the time. You know, after that, it happened with Scribbles. I got on DJ Scribbles
DJ
album.
Scribbles.
Shout out Scribbles. Then everything started. Radio played
What
Jojo
was that
Pellegrino.
record?
I'm in
Bada
Cancun.
bing?
Bada bang, bada boom. Sing to the tune when the king's in the room. You know,
Wow.
next thing you know,
Violator.
I'm in Cancun for 40 days. You know what I mean? I spent 4 of them locked up. But whatever. But the rest of them, I was out there doing my thing, representing. You know what I mean? And doing what I had to do. I came home. Every single major label had money on the table for me. Every one of them. Not just 1 or 2.
How's that work, Joe? Tell us about how that. A lot of people
Well,
don't know
well,
how
and
that.
my production team was Giz is chilling, Milk is chilling.
Wow.
Giz is hip hop royalty.
You can't
Sure.
just go
MC
through
Light.
that.
His father, Matt Robertson, all
Sure.
these dudes, you know, Milk being his brother, MC Light, and all this other, Heavy D, but you know, we're talking hip hop royalty.
Right.
You know, at the end of the day, Eddie F.
co-signing.
Not co-sign it, down with the team, down with me. It's more than a co-sign family.
Okay, thank you,
know,
Jojo, for
him-
correcting me.
him-
No, I appreciate that.
Him
Jojo.
pushing,
Yeah.
that's okay. Him pushing, doing what he had to do. You understand? Colodro making the music, Wigs down with the team from Shaheem, just more on top of me, watching me. I was a knucklehead and doing. It's very strange, you know what I mean? And he was all over me, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And at the end of the day, when this deal came to the table, this came through somebody that my mom's worked with in Brooklyn. That was like, yo, I'm hearing your son everywhere. He's popping in the streets. This and that. I got to get
Right.
around him. Shout out Trip. Trip got around me, called up Big Daddy Kane. Oddly enough, no Big Daddy Kane from 17. He was calling the house, you know, Shaheem. I was around him. I got messages from him on my answer machine shit when I was 16 years old. Yo, this Kane. Looking for Swift. You know what I mean? All that.
Wait,
Dude
Joe,
start
wait,
putting
wait,
next thing
Joe.
you know, I'm in Marcy Projects. Next thing you know, Eric Nix, you know, from Marcy Projects, you know what I mean? Getting around Trip, yo, bring him up to Violator. I get to Violator, whole different vibration. Everyone.
Who signed a Violator at this time?
LL Cool J, Busta Rhymes, Cute Trap Called Quest, Mobb Deep, Fat Joe,
Everybody.
Nas hanging out,
Everybody,
Maxwell. Hold on.
Yeah,
Keep
Was
going,
it 50
hold
Cent
on.
over
What
there?
was that? 2000,
50 Cent wasn't over there
2001.
until I started screaming his name in the building, and Dave Lighty was screaming his name in the building. 50 came after that. Oddly enough, as soon as I left, 50 got in. And I'll never forget what they were telling me about Fifth, but we can get back into that. You know what I mean? Just being around Chris was amazing. Every artist you can name, Capone and Noriega. I don't want to leave nobody out. Timbaland, Missy Elliott,
Violator? I never
Trina.
knew this.
Yo, bro.
Check the rhyme.
LL Cool J.
Chris Lighty and Dave Lighty.
the
man.
Violator
Lighty
compilation
I don't wanna
album,
leave
bro.
no- I could leave
My
out-
Song. Was it My Song?
My Song
My
was
Song,
locked
for
up.
sure.
Shout out
My
my
Song,
brother, My Song.
Lefty,
My Song was
gun
up
up
there,
in
but
my
he
right
got
palm.
locked up. Yo, bro, Chris Lighty managed Puff Daddy,
What-
bro.
For sure.
Were you on that Violator compilation?
Yeah,
album?
bro.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was
Bro,
on
I
it.
went from hanging out in the projects with these guys doing my thing to being in Puff Daddy's backyard, literally with him in a bathrobe, chilling out, everyone going to bathing suit, him pouring drinks for all of us, me and my cousin Johnny. But my life changed instantly, bro. I'd be in the studio, LL Cool J, you know, it's just so much wild shit, bro. I was around all the #1 selling hip hop artists in the whole game, bro.
That's
and when
a
I went to
fact.
the West Coast, I'm around them too. It was a blessing, and that comes through being down with Chris Lighty. Because he never tapped dance.
His network was
He's
his
the black
network.
man that changed the game. He's not the
Yeah,
black
for
man
sure.
that bent in a certain direction and sold his own people out and none of that other
Definitely,
shit. He's the one that stood up and said, nah, we ain't taking that percentage. We want this percentage. Yo, take our music and put it in the commercials. Do this and that. Chris Lighty was a violator because he violated corporate America.
Yeah,
He
Right.
did his thing like
yeah,
nobody. Did
yeah.
I leave out Busta Rhymes and the whole Flip Mode squad? I mean, come on. Everybody was
Everybody
signed
was
up
at
there.
that time.
I'll probably keep naming rappers that you know that are the illest rappers that ever lived.
Red
For the whole
Cafe, I think,
Red
was
Cafe, who
on
I just
there.
spoke to, the franchise
Around
Gravy.
that
Shout out
time.
to
That
Red
sounds
Cafe.
like
Gravy, who went
that
on to
sounds
play
like
Biggie
that
Smalls.
time's Rock
Yeah.
Nation.
Violator had
almost.
everybody.
Bro, it's but
kinda-
I don't think
but-
anything ever matched that level of
You're not
Violator
allowed to smoke
at that
weed.
time, bro.
You're not allowed to smoke weed and drink Henny and act a fool and go crazy in the hallways in the way that all of us were.
Yeah.
You can't do none of this shit at Rock Nation, I'm pretty sure.
Nah, you
Right.
That motherfuckers be doing. We were wild.
Wildin',
Wild. And they were wilding for years
smoking
before I
weed
got
in the
there. Now, let's not forget all the #1 producers. How many producers did he manage? Who was coming through to play beats left and right, from Swiss Beats to this one, to Red Spider,
Self,
to that one,
my
to
homie
Self,
Self
to
was
DJ
on there.
Premier. Of course, so
Shout
many
out
different
Self.
people. I mean, I met my son. I mean, not my son. I met
I ain't gonna-
what's son's name? That took a punch at Prodigy.
Keep
Saigon.
going. Oh, Saigon.
Yeah, rest in peace. to Prodigy.
Saigon.
Saigon. I met Saigon when he first came home. He played a song about his mother. He left the room. I used to sit on the meetings when the new rappers. Some of them are platinum artists now. I'd be sitting in the meetings because they wanted me to just witness everything. And rappers that we love now will come in with nothing, looking for a record deal. And I remember when Saigon came through fresh out of jail, he played the song, and when he left, they were like, I don't know, yo, he's dope. But I said, yo, that song he had about his mother, you gotta grab him. He's incredible. A lot of times I would voice my opinion. You know what I mean? Self-service, all these different dudes, bro. There was just nothing. I could ramble for hours about what that experience was like. And Chris gave it his all, bro. He was around me 24/7 in the studio. I remember being in Chung King Studios recording with Chris Lighty. He'd be sitting on the couch. And everyone would tell me when they saw Chris in my studio sessions, yo, he's around you like that. It's on. And these are my favorite rappers telling me this.
Yeah.
So one day, LL Cool J calls up the studio. He's like, yo, I'm looking for Chris. Chris is up there with you? I said, yeah. I said, Chris is up here in the studio. LL said, yo, my man, you're going to be the biggest rapper in the world. All these years I've been with Chris. He's been to a few studio sessions. He's in every one of your studio sessions babysitting you like that? You know what I mean? I said, yeah. He said, you're going to be the...
You see a vision.
But things don't always go the way that you think they're going to go.
And why would you think that? Like what now? Because with Chris in the situation, so you think like, because it behooves me how a guy like you, or you're in the middle of all these situations. You got Chris behind you. How a major label? You said you had deals on the table. Did you turn them down too early? What happened?
I didn't turn them down too early. I took Chris's because Chris's not only was the biggest deal, where I wound up with a very, very large advance, $250,000. You understand? $1 million deal, all this other shit. All my guys taken care of, $30,000 each. We rocking, you know. And Chris's. I
Talk
like,
your shit, JoJo.
Yeah,
Talk your shit,
no,
JoJo.
come
Please
on, bro.
come here.
I like to be around
Check
kings, bro. Chris is a hood king. He's a legend. Like some of my peoples, like
He
some
kept
of the
it
people
loyal.
that are around me that brought me up through this shit. The way I am. But this dude, let's leave me out of it. This dude is a king. I wanted to be around him because he's a king. He's the man. I wanted to be around the best, and he was the best. It wouldn't matter if someone else came and offered more
Lighty was
money.
the best.
Right.
He's the best. But
Loyalty
I was
shit.
signed to Loud Records, Sony, Loud, then Violator. That's where I wound up. I don't think that Chris wanted me on Loud, and Loud welcomed me with open arms.
Did they have Mobb Deep at the time?
Yeah, so there you go. So now, I said Chris
Loud
also
had a
had
lot of
Mobb Deep.
artists then, too.
Now here I am with Loud too. I didn't tell you about that. I'm in the studio with 3-6 Mafia, all this and that. Everybody on Loud. I'm having to catch with Mac 10 and Dub C in the street, smoking cigars with Leo Cohen. Wild shit going on. You know, just wild going away with Steve Rifkin and all that. Just wild shit going on, and all that comes from being around Chris. I don't think that Loud would have necessarily picked me up on their own, because I think Loud knew that they were going to fold and go out of business.
Yeah.
And when Loud folded, you know, when Chris first signed me, he didn't start busting the Pellegrino gun. We did. And Chris used to say, why are you in the Source magazine? Why are you in XXL right now? Why are you
Oh,
doing...
he knew nothing about it.
No, well, here's the problem. He hooked me up with Gabe Cicero. Shout him out.
Yeah,
Please,
shout out to Gabe.
please,
Shout
Shout
out
out
to
Gabe Cicero.
please call my phone just because you love me, bro. You know what I mean?
Right,
Please.
hit him up.
Hit me.
Call
JoJo.
Just
phone.
because you love me. That's why.
Call
Fuck everything
Pellegrino.
else.
That's right.
Just because we
Hashtag
love
call
each other.
JoJo.
Gabe to Cicero. What does that sound like? He's in the building. He's like, yo, he's Italian. He wants to go. He is Rihanna's publicist, Kanye West. I've seen him wiping sweat off Kanye West's forehead at the Grammys.
Okay,
He's
yeah,
the
he's
man
up
now.
there. Right.
He's the man now. This dude started busting the Pellegrino gun as soon as I got in the building. We moved too fast. And so when Loud folded, I was like, come on, Chris, I'm ready to go. Everyone's talking about me. I'm the man. Chris was like, yo, slow down, shorty. You know what I mean? Like, yo, slow down, sensitive thug. You know, I didn't start doing this yet. Wait. But me, I know it all.
You
Guys-
wanted the fast
guys
food.
like
He
Jay-
was making the gumbo.
Right. Nah, bro, I can't say that. Yes, he was making gumbo. Yes, he had bigger plans. I should have waited, but no regrets, bro.
Right.
But at the same time,
You
Everything's a
learn off
lesson.
of everything.
Paul Rosenberg, Shady Records, Goliath Management,
Right.
they offered me a deal while I was still signed to Violator. Shout them out for that. I like the way that
Right,
Paul
shout out to
Rosenberg and
Paul,
Eminem.
as they
I like the
should.
way
Shout
that
out.
Paul Rosenberg and Eminem treated me
Okay.
when I first got on. I really do. Shout to both of them out.
Wow, talk about that,
Shout
Joe.
out
You,
M, shout
did
out
you
I want
meet
to say
him?
that. I want
Well,
to
he
say.
treated
Of course,
you,
I
you
was
met
around
him. What-
Eminem. Of course,
you
I
should
was
have been.
around
You a
Eminem.
top spitter.
Of
Tell us
course.
the story, Joe.
Well,
Give it to
okay.
us.
Well, check it out. You know, the streets is one thing, right? But I never did no heavy time in jail. But we know in jail from my Italian friends or from my friends from the projects that when you're in jail, you're around your own. You get in there, motherfuckers be like, come over here.
Yes.
If I, God forbid, wound up in Sing Sing, you know, I'm getting called over by these Italian guys, these Irish guys, whatever the case, you know. I'll be doing my thing, but that's what it is. And I felt that feeling from Paul Rosenberg. Come over here.
Really?
Yeah, which is beautiful. It's just tribal. It's just tribalism.
It's tribal, right.
Slight tribalism,
We always
which is
talk
a
about-
beautiful motherfucking
For sure.
thing.
Yes.
For sure.
Beautiful
Look out for your
motherfucking
own.
thing.
That's how it's supposed to be.
Every block look out for their own block. It don't have to be a skin tone thing. It don't have to be
At all.
But that just felt like, come over here. I know
Yes.
what to do with you. You know what I mean? And I'll never forget. Chris told me, because I went to Chris. Yeah, well, that's why I don't need to be here, because I go over there with them. And Chris even tried to plead me and say to me, Joe, come on, bro. Don't you understand? They just want to take you on. You'll always be number 2. I'm trying to make you number 1. But I just didn't have the patience. I'm on the radio. Things are moving. My head is so big. I'm the only kid from, any walk of life in any neighborhood in New York City that looked like me, that got on. Everybody else is trying to be in the mob or sell drugs or whatever. I'm the only one. I'm the only one. It's not a white rapper. It's just
Set a
Italian
trend.
motherfucking. This
Set a trend.
This is that shit. I'm repping the streets. There ain't no street white boy. Only thing we looked at before that was Everlast, right? And on some hardcore Irish shit, we respected him. And Pete Nice from Third Base. We saw us in him.
Right.
Not Church. We saw us and Pete Nice.
Nice, for
We
sure.
saw him and us. You know what I mean? And I had to be that. And that's something that I grabbed in the hood too. And that's something that Calodro was telling me. Yo, Joe, I notice you in Stapleton Projects every day. You around these dudes while they making albums. You ain't on no albums. They doing songs with you and all that, but you ain't on no albums. I want you to know, this is what he told me. This is a beautiful thing, by the way, fellas. You can't take this long. They want to be like us, he said. They want to be like us. They want to be Italian. They want to do this and that. On the low, we want to rap, right? So we love them. We want to say we want to be like them, but we soaking up their culture, doing what they do. But I needed that battery, how he said that. Everybody calling himself this and that and this and that. Fuck out of here. Get yours, Joe. South Shore stuff. He didn't say South Shore stuff, but he said do your thing.
Yeah,
And
put
then I
your
came with the
energy.
South Shore stuff, and I came with all that Italian shit, and immediately the hood went the craziest first, and I was
sure.
on immediately.
For sure.
Immediately, bro.
Because you was the only one doing
Catch
it.
a
'Cause I was
fresh
being- I
slice.
was
And I
being-
ain't talk about no
pizza
pizza
that's
that's hot.
hot. You know what I mean? Yo.
Slides like that was like, oh my God.
You know what I mean? So like I'm proud to be that. I wish that they would see that. Even to this day, I wish that they would see that. You know what I mean? And it still hasn't been done yet, what I'm trying to do. And it still needs to be done.
That's right.
Because when you walk outside, there's a million motherfuckers that look like me doing all types of shit. They need a voice too. They love hip hop. They'll fucking Jadakiss, bro. The fucking Fabulous, bro. Lloyd Banks, 50 Cent. This, they love who they love. You know what I mean? Jeezy, Biggie Smalls. Everybody loves Biggie.
Sure.
I've been in rooms with mafia guys in their fucking 60s and 70s. Real guys, bro. Listening to Biggie Smalls telling me how they love Biggie. This is my fucking guy right here. Biggie's the fucking best. You're good, but Biggie's the fucking, you can never be Biggie. That's how they say it.
Yeah.
I mean, so I gotta represent. You know what I mean? And just being around the whole Violator thing was not only the greatest experience, but like you said, the legends all showed love because they see me work right under their nose. If I didn't have that opportunity, they wouldn't see that. And before the Violator opportunity, I created the opportunity for myself by calling up Stretch and going to Fat Beats and doing this other stuff, going to Battery Park and rapping.
Networking.
You fuck around, go to a battle somewhere at Battery Park, and you might see the cellar dwellers over there. You know what I mean? You be like, hold on a second,
know.
this is getting interesting.
Different.
Now, I might just be there soaking it up, hanging out. And next thing you know, everybody always show love. They want you to come through. When you're dead nice, yo, come over here.
Yes.
And so really that's the energy that I got to be a part of, man.
Let us end on a little because I seen your tribute video to Big Ange, R.I.P. Big Ange.
Yeah, rest in peace to Big Ange, yeah.
Rest in peace.
You being from Staten Island into the Italian culture in the circle, what's your relationship?
My relationship with Ange came from going to her place, the Drunken Monkey. She knew who Jojo Pellegrino was, and I knew who Big Ange was, right?
Okay.
But so when we got together, it was really nice, and we came together through people that she loves more than anything, that I love more than anything. And at the time, I was even dating a girl who she also adored, so that even made it, to the point where I would go there and be behind the bar hanging out. And she would really support. She was really a lovely person, and I noticed a lot of dudes from the hood used to go there too, and people from the hood in general. They loved her, and she loved them. She would be in Park Hill Projects in Christmas, with gifts and all that shit. So she had a different vibration to her. Regardless, you see the makeup and all this crazy stuff, and maybe you think it's funny or whatever, but as soon as she starts talking, it's not funny no more. You're like, oh, hold on a second.
She's a
I
real
like her. I like her.
Right.
Everybody in the hood used to tell me all the time, man, I don't like none of them bitches except for Ange and Drita's crazy. You know what I mean?
yeah,
You know,
Yeah.
that shit. So
We was gonna get to Drita because Ann seemed like everybody auntie. You know how you in the hood? That's like auntie.
Ange
She
always
seemed
had
like
something
auntie.
nice to say. When I went through my
Sure.
toughest time, you know, fighting in a custody battle and all this wild shit that I was going through, you know, she was there for me, man. You know, I couldn't do nothing. I would have
positive
drink.
advice.
Just there giving great advice, and I was enjoying myself, you know, in her bar. I would go there just to chill out, and so I grew close to her. So I had to do a tribute for her when she passed. And I did it with Anthony Acid. Anthony Acid killed the beat. He's one of the greatest producers. He's also the first microphone I ever rapped in when I was a shorty, 14 years old, and that shit went right to wax. You know what I mean? Uncle Frankie brought me through there. I got hip hop history, guys. I ain't telling you everything. You know, shout out Anthony Acid. He also mixed Forget About It when I got my Violator deal. Anthony Acid is my brother. I love him with all my heart. He's one of the best I've ever been around. And we did that together. And we looked at each other. I had 2 verses on it, and I was like, yo, I need to write a verse for Drita. He was like, yeah, we need to get Drita.
My next question, because I was like, verse was hard,
Because I wrote it.
but her rhythm was on point.
Because I stood right next to her
I
while she
figured-
busted a gun off.
He had the coach. Coach the session.
okay.
It's
Yo,
okay. Drita's
it's all right,
talented.
though. No
But
question.
I was there. This is what I do, guys. I do this with other lyricists that are dead nice. I stand next to them. They don't need my training. They don't need my. But if I could
energy.
get next to them, not even just that, just kind of just make them feel a way that they looking for a way to grab something to grab onto in their head that I already know how to grab that for decades now. So yo, hey, do this, do that. You know what I mean? Not just with her, with everybody. So I gave her the support, stood next to her, wrote the verse out. She wrote it out afterwards, and you know, to get comfortable with it, she laid it down and she killed it. And it was hers. I wrote it for her. So you know, I wrote it. She was very close to her. Drita was crying when she was laying the verse. She couldn't finish it. She had to come back. 'Cause She was crying. Then she was crying in the video. You know, Drita. I'm glad that she jumped on that record. I wish that she just would have pushed it a little bit further, a little bit more.
Right.
You know, I put it on SoundCloud. It got like this measly, 700 listens, right?
Yeah.
And I said, Drita, post this on SoundCloud. She posted it on SoundCloud or whatever the case is, and immediately, guys, it went to like 140,000 in like less than an hour.
Because
Like,
I'm following.
yeah, because her fingers, she just do. And, Drita was rocking. You know, people, anybody who did like that, whatever you want to call it on TV, they liked Drita.
Right.
So her and Ange really developed a fan base.
No, that's really
Yeah.
that's true.
And Drita loves hip hop. She loves rapping. She's been on a joint with French
She's
Montana.
tough. She throw them hands,
Yeah,
man.
She throws her hands. She bites. She kicks. She stabs. Run motherfucker over. Shout out Drita and everything that.
Shout out
all my
Drita.
support goes out to Lee right now and everything that he's going through and their family. Shout them out.
Yeah, shout them out, no doubt. Shout out to them, most definitely. Give us
You know how I noticed you when they noticed you from back with the rap. I saw you on the Mob Wops. That's what I noticed you from.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
Were you on an episode?
Nah. I was asked to feature on the show quite a few times in the early days, but I can't do that. I don't want to knock anybody else's hustle, but I would lose a lot of friends if I was on there. You know what I mean? I don't think
It's
nothing.
deeper than what we know,
To whoever was the realest characters, mob characters, all the way in the background, not of the show, but maybe from people that are on the show's family and stuff.
Yeah.
That wasn't a good look for none of them. I'm not telling no secrets. I'm not being disrespectful.
Sure.
Right.
That
and-
wasn't a good look for nobody that was real. That was in the
Didn't think it
background.
was.
And so I could never be a part of anything like that.
Okay, Joe.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
Take us to a studio session. I know you've been in plenty of them, right?
Yeah, tons of them.
My particular one, I have 2 really, but take me to the session, Joe. This is interesting. It's gonna get really interesting.
Let's go.
Take me to the session of You Ain't Built Like That.
You ain't built like that. So
Busta Rhymes, JoJo Pellegrino.
Yeah, shout out
This
Busta,
was
shout
great.
out Busta and the whole flip mode.
Talk
Shout out
about
Rampage, the last Boy Scout.
Shout
who's
out to
still
Last
very
Boy
active,
Scout.
very active in my career. This gentleman, man, that's my bro, man.
Really?
You see what I'm saying? Family that came through Chris Lighty.
Y'all sucker say it. All right, go ahead. I'm so sorry.
Nah, don't be sorry, bro. Bus was my number one, I guess I could say supporter and fan. Chris used to tell me all the time, yo, bro, Bus is your fucking, like your mascot up here. Bus was very protective of me and what was going on, and he really saw it.
Really,
And
man.
and I've never been so close to a rapper in my life than I was to Bus.
Wow.
I was around Bus every
And Bus don't embrace everybody like that.
He embraced me like family, like
Damn
I
sure
would,
don't.
in the most personal moments, in the most personal settings, traveling all the time, just being around him every day for years, every day. Hey, Bus is going over there. He wants you here. Yo, Bus going over there. I had my own shit to do, but I was around Bus. I don't know if there was a play that was happening that I might have missed. It was over my head. but Bus was just there all the time. Wow. And I was always around him. And for Built Like That, I came through the session. I came through Violator. He was in Eric Nix's office. They're doing his thing and all that. You know, I get in there, you know, we do the brotherly love, the hugging and all that, you know, the shit, and start talking. And I said, yo, this one ain't, you know, we're talking about somebody. I said, ain't even built like that. Because I just heard that shit in the street. I heard somebody say that shit. I went to visit my man in Rikers Island, actually. He was saying it. This dude ain't even built like that. He's a bizard. No, talking about somebody in the street.
Right.
I'm like, oh, built like that. I'm like, oh, all right, that's the first time I heard that. When I said it, it was the first time Buster heard it. Buster was like, oh, shit, built like that? I'm like, yeah, yo. He's like, yo, he made the bus face. Like, yo, next thing you know, we in the studio and we got the two mics right next to each other doing our parts back and forth. I love being in the studio. I learned a lot being in the studio with him. And there was always, I love jazz music. There was always some ridiculous sessions happening right next to Buster's sessions. If it wasn't Mobb Deep, it was Carl Denson or Saint Germain or one of these ill jazz groups. I had so many great experiences with Bus, man. So that's how the Built Like That session happened.
Okay.
We did it. My man,
who did the beat?
Shim did the beat.
Okay.
Yeah, Shim is incredible. He just sent me some new shit. Shout out Shim. My man Glenn Marquis, he mixed it. It was just a great session, man. We put that out and that shit started rocking. But again, you know, we did that kind of like on our own, fast.
Really?
Yeah, maybe Chris would have did it all different.
Right.
It wasn't time, because where did Built Like That wind up? It didn't wind up on a No Violator album.
Okay.
It was supposed to be on my album. My album never dropped.
Yeah.
I had joints on my album, man. I went out to Cali, worked with Dr. Dre's team out there. My Violator album was crazy, yo. There was hit records splashed all across that bitch. There wasn't just no all lyricist type shit.
And was that how like you got with like Capone and Noriega through the Violator? How'd that relationship? Cause
I got through Pone and Noriega through Violator, but at the same time I got like a Wu-Tang brand somewhere on me. I don't know where it is. It might be on the back of my head, but it's I'm their little bro. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And so through all of that shit, also came things like Pone and Noriega. You know what I mean? Because they was around Ghost. They love Ghost. So I'll be around. You know, Ghost tried to assist me in my career. Almost had me a deal with Def Jam at one point. That was really fun. I went out to Miami and stayed with Ghost and lived with him for like 33 days. That was crazy. Shout out Ghost and Trife and all them. Yeah, you know.
I know a lot of music had to be recorded in that time, 33 days. I know
At the time, Trife was going the hardest. Trife was already, before I jumped in and started going out there, Trife Diesel, if you guys don't know him, he's from Stapleton Project. Yeah, on Coast albums, you know what I mean? Trife was going real hard. He was in the studio like a warrior, you know. Really.
What year was this? Because I know that
2004.
Who's the kid who was supposedly writing on the Ghost Dini?
That's Superb.
You are just a hip hop condescending.
That's my brother Superb.
Son.
Rest in peace, Superb. I fuck with Superb crazy. There's only one Superb.
Right.
Yeah, it'd be the loudest guy in jail, the loudest guy in this room, the loudest guy anywhere he is. Perb would piss off the worst people in the whole world and then talk his way right out of it. You know what I'm saying? God bless him. He'll start the type of shit where people are about to die, and then he'll laugh and make jokes and all of it. I swear to God, I've seen him at work a million times. A lot of people soaked up his flow and his style. Yeah. Chris Lighty again. I remember saying to Chris Lighty one day, yo, you know Superb? He said, of course I know Superb. Everybody knows Superb. Superb has one of the most original flows that everybody been borrowing for years. I said, what? I said, how come you never thought of managing him? He said, you know, it just never got the thing or whatever. But Superb is just like that, just a fountain of flows, bro. Just a reservoir of originality, you know. Yeah. You know. Yeah. Hey, yo, I wrote this on Donnie Roof after his funeral on one knee, hoping his killers follow me. Yeah. He was always whining. He wanted to die in his floor for the desert.
Like effortless.
Yeah, I mean, effortless. And his lyrics were fucking
superb.
Superb, yeah. God bless the dead. I miss him a lot. God bless Stack Bundle. Shout out, you know, the whole hood out there. You know, yeah.
Wow, JoJo, man, and we appreciate you coming here because your attachment to hip hop is important. And you know, here at Check the Rhyme, we celebrate that. We celebrate the artists who are lyrically inclined
and who live this
and who lived it right.
You have to keep no matter how old you get or how long you're doing this. You gotta keep this. See, in basketball, you'll feel yourself getting tired. In boxing, you'll feel yourself not being able to do what you do. But in hip hop, we get better and better. Some of us don't. I do. You understand? Because in my mind, I'm 16 years old. Every time I pick up that pen, I'm feeling like nothing else matters. I write every day. I've been writing every day since I'm 10 years old, 11 years old.
I said that to these
Hanging
guys.
microphones over lamps with socks and karaoke machines and putting the tapes in, putting the spitballs in them to make them take Bon Jovi tapes that I don't like and then switching them and doing ad-libs and all that. Yo, we lived this. Then my man getting a 4-track up the block, me bringing Shaheem through the basement, you know, where we live at, you know, in Great Kills at Eltonville. We lived this, man. We loved this. You know what I mean? I do. I almost died for this a billion times, bro. I almost killed for this a billion times. I've been through everything you could possibly be through in this motherfucker. You understand? And people show love. I get love from artists. It's amazing. I didn't ask for that. I didn't even expect it. Even when I did forget about it, I'm thinking, oh, everyone in the hood's gonna be like, man, fuck this. They loved it the most.
They loved it, right?
Even when I just did Legal Murderers, I said in there some things that were controversial. I'm thinking, oh man, here goes this. People loved it.
They loved it.
All my favorite rappers were reaching out. You know, even the Jay-Z thing. I first came in the game, I did Where I'm From. Jay-Z was right there. When we mixed the record, he came through. Jay-Z was right there because Turf, this dude that was very prominent in the street aspect of things in Marcy Projects, we became very close friends. And he was friends with my manager, London, too, later in life. And he had Jay-Z, you know what I mean? And Jay-Z was always watching what I was doing. And I was thankful for that. I've been around Jay so much. I recorded.
That flow, I was going to ask you.
I recorded, because Jay-Z's the best. I mean, you know, Jay-Z's flow from Where I'm From, when I heard that, I said, this is the perfect way for me to introduce my neighborhood and say all of the things that everybody loves, but they don't know they love it.
Right.
See, when I went up to Violator and got the deal, you know, Chris told me, yeah, I love the record. It was a whole thing. Come back, do a song called Forget About It. If you do that, we'll talk, this and that. I did Forget About It overnight. We came back. Even then, they were blasted. And Chris said, I'll tell you what, spit something for me, man. If I like it, I'll sign you. If not, I won't. And I told him, I'm your favorite mob movie. You've seen it 1,000,000 times. You know the whole shit front to back. You memorize my lines. I'm the crushed grapes you sipping on, the front stoop you sit upon, icy that you licking on, pasta that you boiled and the cheese that you sprinkled on. I'm that well-proportioned brunette with olive skin back in school you dreamed of kissing on. Watch who you shitting on. Think of JoJo the next time you reach in your closet for felines and slip them on. I'm your guinea tea, the sauce stain on your shirt. The pizzeria where you cop your lunch by the place you work. I'm the sports car you dine and drive. I'm that old man on the ferry you see walking back and forth yelling, shine. I'm that HBO series nominated time and time. Pavarotti and Sinatra combined. Spitting rhymes. I'm Rocky, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I'm Danny Zuko, grease the doorman and talk with hand jive. I'm the sun over Brooklyn, I'm a breeze in Venice. I'm ghetto. Your projects, my whole fan previous tenants. I'm the old days when life was hard times and stickball. And I'm the box for the strike zone you drew on the wall. I'm the realest / illest white boy who spit the raw. Italian ghetto shit, the South Shore, I vouch for. He stopped me in the middle like, what the fuck? This motherfucker just told me everything Italian that I love and admire and that we all love. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's how I got my deal. If I would have told him I leave my building in a single bound and said, he wouldn't have did nothing.
Right.
A lyrical, spiritual miracle. You know what I mean? Like, he wouldn't have fucked with me at all.
It wouldn't have fit you, I don't
came
think.
with
You
something
understand what I'm
different.
saying? Like, that's what it was. It was so different and it was authentic. It was just like, it's crazy.
Bro, we had James Gandolfini and the cast of Sopranos. Colodro, my producer, his father was a cameraman and camera repair on the HBO set. We had these guys for the video.
I seen
Chris
like,
just wasn't ready.
who was the Italian guy who played your uncle in the where?
That's my man Bartolo from Staten Island. Jojo, haven't I always given you blessings?
Yeah, he's sold it.
Shout out Bartolo.
This guy is,
Shout out
has to be
Bartolo.
mafia.
Yeah. Well, nah, actually, he's a family man. God bless you. He's a family man. He's an actor. He's a hardworking guy. He's a great guy. I love this guy.
Wow.
You know, he's playing the role of Uncle Frankie. You know, that's my cousin who would never get in front of no camera, never do anything. I mean, he's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And he would never do any of that. You know, he means so much to me. Growing up as a kid, and Uncle Frankie started out in the projects doing his thing, putting his, crime life, getting his crime life started. Same projects that I started in with rapping, Stapleton. You know, and he had some people from New Brighton with him. So this thing just came together naturally. Uncle Frankie's a part of Jojo Pellegrino. You know, he's been back and forth to jail all these years, and hip-hop is not necessarily his cup of tea no more. But he's still a part of me, so I still talk about him in the new music. I still show somebody
dope.
portraying him in the video, all that other stuff. You know what I mean?
Right. The Method Man, Up and Atom.
Up and Adam, shout out Meth, yeah.
How'd that play out? Was that the RZA who produced that? Or?
Nah, that was Colodro. I brought that. The RZA had me come up to 36 Chambers, 34th Street in Manhattan or whatever. That's where it was, right? Yeah. And I went up there where they had the chessboards and all that, and I seen Meth, and I played the beat, and he loved it. Meth always loved me. I mean, even before I got on, he would call my house, call me Swift and all that, and he just always showed love. He knew people that I knew, and Meth is such a cool dude, man.
Yeah.
He always showed love. He always made me feel like I was somebody.
That's dope.
You know what I mean? And that was a great feeling. And as soon as I got my deal, like I'll be walking through the hall in Def Jam and someone be like, yo, I got someone on the line for you. And I would grab it and it'd be Method Man. You know what I mean? He'd be like, yo, what's up, man? What the blood? Yo, what's the fuck's going on? So I brought him to Jay-Z studio and we went up in there and we did the record. You know, we wrote it in 36 chambers and then we recorded it at Baseline. And that was a crazy fucking night because Method Man is a crazy guy at the time. You know what I mean?
Baseline Studio. Tell us about
Very-
that. That's a
That's
legendary.
Jay-Z. That's what Jay-Z
legendary
did everything.
studio.
I was in there with Kanye West when Kanye West, while he was working on the first, H to the Izzo with Jay-Z and all that. Just Blaze had his own room. Beanie Siegel would be standing there all intimidating with the, by the pool table and all that with all his people and all that. Yeah, that was his thing. And I would just be in there working all day and all night. You know what I mean? With the ill producers and everybody. And Jay would just peek his head in and come sit in and chill out. And he'll be playing video games right outside my session, or he'll be playing solitaire in the other room. I'll come out, he'd be there with his socks on, playing video games, just listening for hours. The things I took for granted, that I'll be in one room and Jay-Z would be in the other room listening, playing his game, but I know listening for hours. Just chilling, Jay-Z in his socks. Then he might go slide over there and play, solitaire, whatever, in personal settings. You know what I mean? Right. These are things I took advantage of. I took advantage of it all. I had reminders and people pointing that out to me when I was there, but not just there in the studio, while I was during that time of my life, Wiggs would grab me in the illest moments while we fill the rooms of celebrities, all telling me how great I am. He would say, "Yo, Joe, none of this is real." And as soon as shit, didn't go as planned, of course, all the people that tell me they love me every day, they're not around every day no more and all that. But that's okay. That's okay.
What made you? Because it's interesting how you started to do the where I'm from's. I was watching something. I can't remember what it was, but I think I heard you say something like, you started to realize that people wanted to actually hear. I could be misquoting, but like a real story, or they wanted to see something, have something more personal. So you started doing the Where I'm From's part 1, part 2. What was the reason behind you putting out the Where I'm From's and giving people
it's just
that in depth?
One, my neighborhood keeps changing. It went from Italian and Irish to Italian, Irish, and Albanian. Then it went from Italian, Irish, and Albanian to Italian, Irish, Albanian, and Russian. Okay. You know what I mean? And the dynamic keeps changing, and everything changes, and everything changes. You know what I mean? And so I'm proud to be that guy for my neighborhood and all neighborhoods like mine throughout Queens, the Bronx, Brooklyn especially. You know what I mean? And surrounding areas too. You know what I mean? All that. Italian communities, man, Irish communities, shit like that, and so I always want to do another Where I'm From. And since that's the first thing that blazed me in, I keep going, The last one I did it because I felt like I had to do it. And I wanted to get it over with. I wasn't trying to do it just to put it out and say, okay, I'm going to push this for 6 months. I just said, here, you keep asking for it, boom, here it is. Right. Now, it's all drugs and all crazy overdosing and all that in my neighborhood. I can't even focus on, everything changed. Like I said before, everything changed, man. The whole gangland mentality and everything changed. I'm not gonna shit on my neighbor. We got a lot of real guys, that are doing their thing. A real guy grows into something, realer than some goon in the street. So all the real guys that I know that are lucky enough to be alive or free or whatever are supporting their family, and people are still afraid of them, and they'll still do their thing, but they're not out there doing that. Now everybody's ratting and telling and setting people up and threatening people on social media and all this other sucker shit, you know what I mean? And, people now, they like to call you what they are, you know what I mean? A kid will tell on the whole neighborhood and argue with everybody and say, you're a rat. On social media. Motherfucker, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
I seen somewhere where you said something about dudes ratting with the death before dishonor tat on their bodies.
Yeah, because I noticed a lot of, rats got that tattoo. Death before dishonor. I mean, yo, son, the other day a kid threatened my life on social media, right? Threatened my life on social media, and his title on his page
Death
was The Last of a Dying Breed. Oh, is there something wrong with me or no? I mean, come on. I didn't tell you nothing else but just that. It don't add up, and that's what's going on now, But I'm still here to let them know what's real and what's not. You know what I mean? I'm still representing. There's a lot of kids in my neighborhood take your head smooth off, not with a gun, with their bare hands. You know what I mean? So I represent them kids. I represent the people that take care of their families. I represent the people
stand-up guys.
Everybody, stand-up guys, bro. Everybody that works hard for my neighborhood. No matter what your job is, no matter what you do, I represent those people, man. You know what I mean? And I do it. This is South Shore stuff brought to you by way of the hood, literally. You know what I mean? These are my family. They're still with me every day in the studio. All my white friends are raising their families. They're like, I can't come to the studio. My wife will kill me. You're out there fucking a bunch of hot 25-year-olds and 26-year-olds. I can't even hang out with you no more. I'm not allowed. But all my black friends, they're right motherfucking here. Every day of the week, around me, whatever, however we got to do it. Where we going? You know what I mean? And that's because, not because they don't have families that they take care of, but because they want to go, man. Let's have a good time. Let's make something better of our lives even. You know what I mean? Let's not settle. You know, most of my friends are friends with rappers that sold million records. Carlton Fitz. That's my brother. That's my best friend in the world. The only person I feel completely comfortable around because we come from an umbrella of serious dudes. And I don't do what they do, but I was under that umbrella. You understand? I'm more comfortable around him than anybody I grew up with. I mean, I know Carlo for 23 years, but I grew up with people in my neighborhood. I'm more comfortable with him than anybody else. Right. Because we in this together. You know what I mean? Exactly. Son knows this. His best friend is Method Man. He knows the possibilities of a good life, a better life, exciting life. Whereas a lot of my friends are, they work jobs, man. Yeah. I'm a garbage man, Joe. You know what I mean? Yeah. Let me do what I do, and I can't come out.
I'll catch you later.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Have a good time, bro.
Yeah. So here I am with the same people I started with, still going.
That's dope, man. That's dope. And that FloJo shit, that just dropped, right?
Yeah, just dropped that.
Exactly.
Shout out to New Vegas Films. You know what I mean?
We needed that. We needed that.
Yeah,
Joe.
I was gonna ask you got any new stuff coming up?
I got tons, bro. I'm gonna be like,
talk about
boom,
it,
boom, boom. I got another one dropping in like 2 weeks with my man Yanti Strickland. Shout out Big Yanta Noise. You know what I mean? This dude did a super producer, did mad shit with all our favorite rappers from Jay to this one to Puffy to Michael Jackson. He's done it all. Shout out all the producers that get paid a lot of money that still say, yo, Joe, I got you. I don't want this and that. I got you. We do our business and set it up the right way, but dudes that say, come on, let's go. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. You know how easy it is for me to get around these incredible legendary producers and all this, and these rappers are throwing verses at me and asking me for verses. That's beautiful, bro. The energy is still there. Yeah. And I'm not just talking to a certain demographic. I'm rapping for the shorties too. Nothing feels better than when a kid says, ain't you Jojo Pellegrino? Even if it's from Facebook, and he happens to be, I say, how old are you? He says 14. I was walking with my son one time. A 3-year-old came out of the house because his father watches me all day long. He came out of the house and walked across the street. He's not even allowed. This kid approached me in front of my son and asked me if I was Jojo Pellegrino. He was 3 years old. That was the best feeling I ever had.
Shout out to that 3-year-old for recognizing Jojo.
His father always watches me on Facebook. It's good enough. He didn't see me on MTV or getting a Grammy. Saw me on Facebook all day long and recognized me and wanted to come over with this cool smile like I was somebody. Hey, my father really like. I was like, little man, you walk across the street. I brought him back to the house with his father. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's a great feeling, bro.
And you come from that era of just wanting that recognition. Hey, he's a dope guy. He's a dope MC. You come from that. He's a dope MC era.
Yeah,
so you appreciate the love.
There's more to it. When you're an ill man and you're a real man and you're a live dude, meaning you're live, not you bust guns and all that. You do whatever it takes, whenever it takes. When you're that and you have a good heart, you understand? You'll always get love and respect. Right. Whether you rapping or whether you doing whatever the fuck you doing.
Stay in your lane.
You got to be a real man. You can't be a punk. You can't be a rat. You can't be this and that. You can't be this and that. I went through so much struggling where I was getting arrested left and right on some bullshit shit and all that stuff. And all I had to do to make all my problems go away would be maybe just point someone out. And I could never do it. I could never do it. Why? Because I'm a full-time gangster? No, because I'm a man. Some of my friends are full-time gangsters. So I will behave as if I was a full-time gangster or a killer or a fucking rapper or a man who would I'm a man, bro. I respect first responders. When I get pulled over, I know they're not judges. I deal with them. I let them do their job. It's all good, bro. I respect every man out there doing his thing. You know what I mean? And it's not hard for me to admit that. It's protocol to be a motherfucking man. A lot of people be a whole different person when they're rapping.
Yeah, it's about respect.
Kids in my neighborhood talking about shoot you in the chest. I got my gun goes off. They don't do none of that. None of that. Not even close, bro.
Right, exactly.
Come on, bro.
Yeah, for sure.
I lost 3 friends this motherfucking month alone to murder, man. These kids don't. My friends died in my arms. I'm pulling people over fences when they're shot, saving their lives, all that shit. I've been through all this shit. Why? Because I'm a Superman gangster? No, because I've been in these type of situations. I'm listening to these other rappers talking all this dumb shit. I hear them saying shit that I know for a fact they never went through. Right. And it's like it's offensive, man. It's a fucking joke, man. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, we appreciate you, Joe. We're here to celebrate you.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate you guys too, man.
And at the end of the day, we're glad you're here. You survived. Yes. You're alive and well.
And I'm just getting started, bro.
And this is what I'm saying.
That's what we like to hear.
Just getting started.
Like a hungry.
I'm starving, bro. And my bills are paid, but I'm starving. I want this. There's nothing I want more in life than to be a successful artist. You want to know why? Because a lot of people say, nah, I'll be doing this and that because they want to rap for little crowds. I want to rap for gigantic crowds. I hear these bitch-ass motherfuckers complain about performing in arenas.
Right.
Maybe you don't know what to do in an arena. I do. It don't matter what age I'm at, whatever. I want all these people.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, when you become successful and you have large amounts of money, you could do large amounts of things to contribute to the people out there who really need it. I'm not talking about handing out turkeys and none of that. I'm talking about, whatever. It's learning centers, areas, rec centers, this and that. Anything that could, schools, hospitals, or give to certain foundations, the kids that are sick. There's kids out there that can't even drink water, that don't even got water. Some of them are in Detroit. You know what I mean? Like, yo, bro, when you got money, and you can make a change and you could inspire people and touch their hearts. There's nothing like that. Yeah. There's nothing like that, bro. And to be the greatest lyricist, one of them at the time and make hit records and all that, I think that shit is a plus. I think that's just a plus, bro.
It is a plus. It is
Definitely a plus.
And we celebrate that. Check the rhyme. We're here to celebrate that caliber of an artist, and we're gonna share this. We're gonna promote this. We're gonna put this out. We're gonna make sure that we reach enough people. Hopefully, we reach a new audience for them to grasp hold and do their research and let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on. You can find me on
What's your social
Instagram
media?
at Jojo Pellegrino. 2 L's cooling like Todd Smith, all right? Pellegrino. Same thing on Twitter, same thing on Facebook. To all the rappers out there that are doing their thing that want to come up, you could do whatever you want right now. It's you. You and your social media, you could pop off. Watch, you about to watch Drake is the largest in the world. He about to just probably make his career go off his Instagram and make more money than he ever did. You guys got to do the same thing. Don't stop. Do what you do. Be original, and give them something to talk about.
And we appreciate you, Joe.
Word for
Straight
the
up.
wise.
Straight up, man. Yo, this has been another podcast, another episode of Check the Rhyme.
Check the rhyme.
I'm your host, Magic.
Lock.
Joe,
JJP shit.
And we
Yes,
out of here.
we
Salute,
outta
here.
y'all. Peace.
peace.
I don't know if we didn't touch on certain things or whatever, but
Yeah,
Brother.
yo.